You're in limbo. You're in limbo.
Limbo, slow death, hot dreams, unmet. Transfer personal deserves we walk around to regress.
Hello, you worthless bastards out there. Tonight, we have the esteemed honor of talking to Father Cavalera, Mr. Max Cavalera. We've talked to Richie, we've talked to Igor Jr., and now we got the daddy, Max. I can't believe you're here. This is so cool to me.
The big daddy.
That's
right.
That's
We'll
right.
call him Uncle Max here
Uncle
tonight.
Max, that's right.
Right
Uncle
on.
Max.
Hey, I've been called all kinds of stuff, Grandpa, Big Max. Like even when I was in Sepultura, my nickname was Vovo, which means Grandpa
Really?
in Portuguese. Before I was a grandpa, because they say I always act like an old bastard. I was always complaining about shit. Whenever we did a show, I was the only one that didn't like it. I was always grumpy a little bit. So I ended up getting that nickname, and it's kind of stuck with me. But now I am a grandpa for real now. So now I can wear I wear that badge with pride now,
How many grandkids do you have, Matt?
Right now, 5. There's one on the way.
Wow.
Wow,
Busy,
congrats again.
Yeah, there's a little girl coming in June.
Nice. Right away.
Which is my stepson, Jason. He works with us. He does, normally he takes care of Zion. He does drums and sometimes bass. He takes care of Mike, too. He's a crew guy, He hangs out with the crew. He's a crew, road crew, road dog. But yeah, it's cool. It's growing, and I'm trying to get the young ones into metal because they're into a lot of rap and a lot of bullshit music.
Okay. That's funny you say that, because I know when we last time talked with Igor, he said you kind of gave him shit back in the day for listening to Blink 182 and some softer stuff, and said, "Hey, what the fuck is this?"
I always did, and now we got 2 of the grandkids live with us, 2 girls. And one is the youngest one. She got into metal, which was great. And then she was like asking me about old Scorpions and Saxon. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I grew up with that. I tell you the best records you have. I tell you the records that you don't touch. Yep. I'll give you the scoop, the best, And she's been listening to and. So I she will become a metalhead eventually.
That's amazing.
Now her sister, not so much. She's into a little more pop stuff. Although she wears my shirts to school. She wears Nail Bomb shirts, nails.
Hey, there you go.
Which is like weird because she doesn't like the music, but she likes the shirts. So
okay, but she supports Grandpa. So there you go.
Yeah, so it's cool. The other 2, the boys, they're all into football. So we talk about Detroit Lions and New York Giants and.
Oh well, you can't. It's not the worst taste in the world to have the Lions, but whatever. I respect it.
It's pretty bad, brother.
You're a diehard Lions fan, though. You're holding on.
I've been for like maybe 10 years now. I remember when I first picked them. I picked them out of the blue. I was like, I'm not going to – it's like Arizona Cardinals school. I live here, but I'm going to have my own team. That's what I decided, You
just decided, fuck it, might as well be the Lions.
Yeah, out of the blue because I'm a Leo, and then I like the logo. Yeah. And everybody told me, hey, they lose a lot, man. You better get ready to lose and suffer. But I'm a hardcore, honest, loyal, hardcore fan. I stick with them, So – one of these days, it's going to get good.
It makes the winning a lot more sweet when it does happen, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and it's been cool because I actually, we know some people in Detroit. And when I played there last time, one of the few last times, we actually got a tour to the Ford Field, to the stadium. We went to the locker room. We went in the field, ran in the field with my son.
That's awesome.
That was pretty awesome. I got to touch Barry Sanders' locker,
Wow.
where he used to put his stuff, and
Wow.
and I've been to a couple games, the Lions and Cardinals game in Phoenix.
Nice.
I didn't go to a Ford Field game yet, but eventually that will happen, So, but yeah, it's cool. So with the young grandkids, I talk football. With my sons, Zion and Eagle. With Zion, I share Soulfly with him, so it's cool. It's almost like I'm not even a dad. It's a musician. I talk to him like music terms. Like I get pissed off at him when he doesn't want to play some songs I want to play, and try to get him to listen to some stuff. And I'm really connected to my other son, Igor, because we like a lot of the same heavy stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's so cool to me. That I remember when you came through here. The first time I saw you was 2002. You played at the university with Sworn Enemy and E-Town Concrete and a local band called Dirt Bread. And that just blew my fucking mind wide open. We were both there, me and Troy.
I think was Killswitch Engage on the bill too?
No, it was Sworn Enemy.
Okay, that's right.
Anyways, fast forward to quite a few years later, and I saw Nail Bomb. You played at the Exchange in Regina, and you brought Lodi Kong with you. And I didn't realize that at the time that Lodi Kong was Igor, that Igor was your son. And I saw him playing, and of course Zion playing drums and everything. That was really cool for me. Once I found out later, I was like, holy shit, like you gotta be a pretty proud dad. You're like a fucking metal legend, and you've got 2 kids that are just fucking killing it up there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I really enjoyed that connection I got with them, and I got to I get to do a lot of stuff with Zion Soulfly. Zion's it's gonna be his next album. I think is his 4th record with me.
Wow.
Which is and we do jam a lot. We just me and him, and we go in the jamming room. We have a practice place by the airport, and it's full of gear, and it's got a whole history. I've been there since the pretty much Chaos AD days. We wrote Chaos AD in that room. And so I go there, I think we're actually thinking about next week. I think we're going to go there and we're going to film some shit, put on YouTube for the fans to see it. Just kind of like during this quarantine, just have a little bit of, like what we are doing, staying busy. And of course, I'm proud of the bands. Igor's got a new band, it's Kick-Ass.
Very Kick-Ass.
Healing Magic. Yeah. You guys talked to him about it. And
hell yeah. Super
appreciate it. You guys doing that. Yeah.
Hey, we
I like
appreciate
them a lot.
you guys.
I like Healing Magic a lot. I think that's something he's hitting right in the nail with that. Like really cool stuff.
Yeah, Max, are you finding that now with the older the guys get, that you're maybe starting to take a backseat and you're kind of picking up some pointers from them along the way?
Well, not them. I want to do stuff more with them, actually.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of cool. I mean, I'm up here right now. We have 2 houses, and I have a second house in the mountains, and I'm here. I've been here 2 days now, and I've been just jamming with Igor, for fun. We have, not even we don't have any record deals or anything. We just get in the room and just jamming, listen to a lot of old stuff that we grow up. He was asking me about the stuff I was listening to when I made some of those records, and I just gave him the whole spiel. A lot of old Death and Morbid Angel, and a lot of crust punk stuff like Doom and Discharge and Bolt Thrower, and we just listen. It's funny. We listen to the stuff, and then we go grab our instruments, and some cool riffs comes out of it. Man, it's pretty cool. That's
so funny. Some dads get out there and quality time is throwing the ball back and forth, and you guys grab your instruments and away you go, throw riffs back and forth. That's kind of like how it is with me and them, which is really, I have to say, that's like a dream come true. In fact, one of the things I'm most proud of it is actually on Soulfly's last record. It was the song that Randy sang on it with us, That Behind the Eyes.
And that whole song came about. My son Zion asked me how I write a song like he was listening to Schizophrenia, which is really obscure Sepultura record that not many people even know about it. And he knew it. He knew the whole record. And he's like, how the fuck do you write those fucking songs? This shit's insane. And I was like, do you want to find out? We can do one together, you know, like a project. Like, instead of building Legos and shit, let's go write a fucking song.
Right on, man.
And I'll tell you exactly how I write these fucking songs. And we did it piece by piece. Like, it took us like 2 weeks working on it, going there every night. So we got the first part, we got the verse, then we got the chorus, we got the bridge, we got the slow section, the ending, and then when Randy put the vocals on it, and it became a monster. It's a monster song now.
That's huge.
That's one of the things I'm most proud of him, and like how we, out of his curiosity of my old catalog, we created something really beautiful together, and that's kick-ass. I love that.
That's awesome, man.
Rad to hear. And like, speaking of some of the ways you write music, do you still do a lot of that like collaboratively with people, or do you find yourself doing the writing and putting the songs together a lot by yourself?
Yeah, I still do stuff the same way I did on End of Our Rise tour. That's where, when Gloria bought me this 12-track machine, I don't have the original. I actually I bought, since then, I bought 2 of those. They're made by Korg, and they're very old school. It's kind of like a 4-track machine, but it actually has 12 tracks, so I can actually put more guitars on it. I have an old piece of shit drum machine that I know how to use it, and you know, it's like, I don't want a new one. People should already. Sometimes I go to Guitar Center, they like offer me, hey, you want to buy the brand new top of the line drum machine that comes with the microwave and, you know, a freezer? And like, no, I don't want to. I have a drum machine. It works fine.
That's funny.
And so I write exactly the same as I did in the End of Our Rise. Entire Chaos AD was done like that. Roots, Soulfly 1, every record ever since. You know, it's like a system. You know, I enjoy it. I love it. I spend hours working on it. I create all these, you know, these skeleton songs. They have like, some of them are more complete, have some even vocal parts. Some of it is just riffs. We'll take all that shit to the studio and make songs out of it, and it works great. You know, it's like they say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. You know.
Absolutely. Why would you? I mean, certainly the results speak for themselves, man.
Right. Really honing your craft.
I'm a student of metal. You guys don't understand how nerdy I am. I'm a freak of nature nerdy about metal. Like, I spend hours just listening, and then I go on YouTube, try to see how they play the stuff, and then I go and try to play myself. And cover songs always been a big part of my career. So, you know, we started playing Black Sabbath, and then evolved into Venom, Metallica, Slayer. So I always been fascinated by what other musicians do with the guitar, and what can I do. So I'm a total student of metal, and also like I consider myself some kind of like my son calls it riff vortex because he says when I go into this riff vortex, he cannot even talk to me. Like I don't even look you cannot even speak to me. I'm just, the guitar is, I'm shitting riffs, and that's how it is. You don't fucking talk to me. I'm in riff vortex mode. It's bizarre, man. Sometimes riff vortex modes can last 5-6 hours.
Just go for it.
Wow, man.
Just going for it. Yeah,
Max,
fun,
getting back to those covers and that, one of our followers was really excited to ask about how, like, Smoke on the Water came about. How'd you pick that jam, and, like, what was it like making that song your own?
Oh, always been fun. I mean, some of the most challenged ones was Black Sabbath to me when we did Symptom of the Universe, because that's that's like touching something out of a museum, you know. It's like forbidden fruit. If we shouldn't touch it, but we're gonna fucking touch it, you know,
Yeah.
because we have to, you know. And I was like, that was my favorite. It probably still is my favorite Tony Iommi riff ever. Is the very first riff of Symptom of the Universe.
Nice.
And we did it, you know. We did it with Andy Wallace when we were doing Chaos, and he encouraged us, and we put our little spice on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did another Sabbath cover, which was Under the Sun with Soulfly, and it was a little bit more underground. Came out around, I think it was a B-side of Primitive or Soulfly 3, and that was cool because I got a letter from Ozzy on that one. Because he heard it, he loved it, and he sent a letter. He emailed me. I mean, he mailed me a letter saying how much he liked that cover. And to me, that was like, fuck it, I'm done. I can die right now. You know, shit. I don't need to do anything else for the rest of my life.
That's hilarious. Do you still have that? Do you still
I
have
always
that
love
letter?
playing covers, man. Some of them are more challengeable. In Soulfly, we did Helmet. That was pretty cool because we toured with them in the past, and also I like unconventional covers. We did a Napalm Death one that was only 4 seconds long, and that was cool. My son didn't want to do a cover. He's like, I don't want to play other people's shit. It's like, dude, this is 4 seconds. You gotta do hit the drums once. The song is over. But yeah, you learn a lot from covers, man. It's cool. Like I don't know, I don't remember Smoke on the Water. It's just one of those songs that you just jam in the jam room, because the early versions of Sepultura before Andreas, even I'm talking about Bestial Devastation, Morbid Visions era.
Mm-hmm.
We used to just go and jam first, and then we'll be Sabbath, always play some Sabbath, like War Pigs, Paranoid. And at that time, we started doing Slayer, Black Magic. We were doing that. We were doing Creator, Living in Fear. And then we were doing the Purple, you know. We were doing Smoke on the Water, which is a pretty easy riff, but it's awesome. It's a great riff, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I guess I compare to athletes doing warm-ups before a game. Cover songs is our warm-up. It's our in our world, it is our warm-ups, you know. Before writing a song, you just do some cover songs and loosen up. And when you loosen up and you start throwing your own shit, your own riffs, and that's and then other songs come to surface, like, you know, Troops of Doom and Funeral Rites and other stuff. But before that, we were always playing covers, man. It's great. That's why I always, when I talk to a fan that's starting a band, I always tell them, go play some motherfucking covers, man. Play some covers, like learn how they do this shit. Try to like study a little bit about metal, and it will in the long run will help you a lot, you know.
Yeah, I like the way how you described it as being a warm-up, and maybe like an athlete gives you permission to try something like a layup with the other hand, or just try something out of the water and be like, yeah, this fucking worked.
Exactly. So it's kind of like our warm-up. Our cover songs always been that thing that we had. And then, of course, there's been some of them that for some people they like better than the original. It's the case of Orgasmatron, you know, like some people have told me. I have huge respect for the original, of course, but I think our version is pretty kick-ass, and we got really cool. We got an MTV award in Brazil for a video that we did.
Nice.
And that song was always been great whenever we play live, you know. And then whenever I go on tour with bands, especially the last 10 years, I always been doing covers with them, which is a way of bring the whole package together. So it brings all the bands that are touring together. Because I remember realize sometimes some of the other tours we did that we didn't gel with the other band, and it was kind of weird. And I was like, I got to do something to make a connection and make everybody be part of the same tribe, be part of the same unity. So we started doing these cover songs, and so we did Ace of Spades with Suffocation. We did black metal with Full of Hell and Immolation. We did Evil Dead with Toxic Holocaust on our last tour from Death.
Awesome.
And that's, I think we're going to just keep doing, man. You know, every tour. There was one, we did Breaking the Law, Judas Priest, for a little bit. That was really cool. I love that. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of like a way of bonding with the opening bands and making everybody more feel that more part of the whole package, you know, as like everybody more united, you know.
Because it seems like from like an outsider perspective, you know, you roll up in your caravans, and you know, headliners are here, the guys are still driving in their van, they show up, they unload, and you guys pick up and go your separate ways to the next show type thing. So that's kind of cool that you bring everybody together and make them all feel like it's a united front, right? Like that's cool. Right.
That's normally how it rolls, and that's why it was bugging me a little bit. I didn't like the separation that much, because I'm first and foremost, I'm fans of a lot of bands we take on tour. And I was like, being a fan of these bands, to me, to jam with them would be actually really be really cool for myself. I think that would be, besides the fact that we are bringing the package all together and we're making everybody feel more welcome, and the crowd gets to see something they don't see every day. It's a plus, you know. It's a little extra bonus track they get to see every night that they don't see on a regular. You know, I kind of like to break the rules of the things, you know. It's like tour rules, they're always the same and shit, you know. So it's like, what can you do to break a rule of a tour so it makes a little bit less boredom, a little bit less factory oriented? So it's not like always show up, sound check, interview, show, and then it's like
on to the
Groundhog Day, you know, every day. We try to do different stuff like that. One of the things I've really been trying to do for many years is actually, I tried to do that in Argentina in 2001. I almost pulled it off. It was like so close. It was actually to open a truck in the middle of downtown Buenos Aires and do a show with for the people in the middle of the city. Stop traffic until the cops show up and shut the show down, you know?
That would be so cool.
What stopped it? What made it not happen?
Well, the promoter freaked out.
Okay.
And he pretty much chicken shit on the whole thing. And, you know, I was ready to go. To start off, like, I was in Argentina. There was like 50, 60 fans sleeping outside the hotel. And we've been there for like 2 days, and they were just like parking, you know, spending the whole time from the hotel. And then one night I got a little bit drunk, and I was like, well, I only wear one shirt, one jeans, my camouflage pants. So I threw all my clothes out of the window, you know, like I threw the whole bag, the whole suitcase, you know. And like next day, everybody was wearing my shit. And Gloria's like, why is everybody wearing Max shit? And it was like, it was just kind of fun, you know, like to kind of connect with the fans a little bit. And then I had the idea to do the free show, and it was real close. We actually, we had a contact with the truck and the sound company and everything. And in the last minute, the promoter didn't want to do it. He was scared of the police and the chaos that was going to attract. But I keep that idea in mind, the back of my mind. I'm still going to do it one of these days. Maybe, who knows? But it's kind of cool in South America because it's already a chaotic place by nature.
Right.
You know, you don't need much to get people wound up on the street. So you put a truck and you play some metal. Oh, yeah, this shit it's off. people just go nuts, you know. So one of these days, we're gonna get to do it, and it's gonna be pretty fun. Hopefully, we get to record that, like do it a live footage of that or something, put on YouTube or something.
Yeah, without a doubt. As long as you got it planned out and ready to roll, it sounds like it's doable and it's gonna happen. But
and then the cops will shut off, but you get to throw a couple songs before that happen, you know.
Yeah, exactly. The seed has already been planted at that point, so it doesn't really matter what the cops do.
Yeah, and that definitely kills boredom on the road for sure.
Yeah, so just breaking rules, and like I see like a lot of photos online there, Max, with you taking some like new bands and guys going with you. Like Richie introduced us to like System House 33. They seemed like a really cool band that got to come tour with you. Do you really like appreciate finding these like new, different, unique bands to come along with you and really showcase to the world?
I do. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the metal and of the music, and then I have my bands I always discover and I always listen to, and some of the people I work with always telling me about bands. That's how I discover a lot of the stuff. You know, some of the producers like Arthur Risk that did the Cavalera record. He just did a new band called Black Curse that I really love their new stuff. And then when we go on tour, it's a bit, it's kind of mixed. I have somewhat a little bit influence to pull for a band that I really like. That was the case of Suffocation and Immolation and Full of Hell. Those are all bands that I really want to have on the bill. And then, of course, you know, our kids band always really cool. We get to help them, and then you have sometimes like off the wall suggestions from the booking agent that says there's a band from Africa. You know, there's a band from India. You know, that was the case of System House 33.
Right.
They're from India, and it's like fucking cool, man. Yeah, like that's awesome. We get to help a band from that part of the world.
We were talking to Richie about that. Is India kind of, you know, blossoming as a pretty solid metal scene?
That's what I heard. I have not been there yet. That's my mom's favorite place. Okay. Whenever I go there, I'm gonna have to bring my mom and
awesome.
to take her. But you know, I've been to Indonesia with Sepul and with Soulfly. Right. We've been to China with Soulfly. We did a huge festival there with the Shadows Fall. That was pretty amazing. That was crazy. It was on an island outside Shanghai, and it was like, damn, that was a crazy trip. And I went to Tunisia by myself and did a jam session with a Tunisian band, play a couple cover songs. I love doing this kind of shit. I just show up by myself and they learn the songs and I just go and jam with them. And that was like a 1,500 fans show up in Tunisia, North Africa. Like that's unheard of it, man. You know,
wow.
It's wow. It was amazing. And we do stuff like that also with the Navajos, you know, the Navajo reservation, tribal land here in Arizona. I know the president. He's a good friend of mine, and all the chief of police and everything. And I always go there and jam with Navajo bands. And then we play Prophecy, we play Eye for an Eye, we play Roots, Bloody Roots, because you know the natives love that, of course. You know. Yeah. So yeah, it's good to be connected to these different parts of the world, and although Soulfly it played the Navajo reservation. We had a couple Soulfly shows there, but sometimes I just do it by myself. You know, like in Tunisia, I just went there and did it, and it was awesome. It's one of my favorite things about being in a band is actually the traveling side that I'm fascinated by. My wife loves it. She's fascinated. We both love museums and cultural shit. So, you know, we play Siberia and you know, like Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan and all these countries that most bands don't go. They're scared to go there. And we try to go to all those places. I actually try with our booking agent. We try to go to all those places. You know, like no matter how dangerous. I just think those people need metal, and we're here to give them this metal, and you know, we got to do it, man. It's part of the job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And you're saying, like, you know, 1,500 people in, like, North Africa. Like, what makes you so culturally respected, or where do you get that mass appeal from? What makes people gravitate towards, like, you know, your music, Max?
That I don't know. I mean, maybe is because of the fact that I always been into different cultures. You know, since I was a kid, I was always very curious about other countries and other cultures, and that's why I like to record in different parts of the world and stuff. And I think, I mean, like, in Central America, South America is different because I'm kind of like a hero for them because I made it. I proved to them that's possible to make it coming from Brazil.
Right.
So I became this kind of symbol, you know. It's like the fanatical level that's beyond words is insane. And you know, last time I was there, I was with Cavalera playing Beneath the Remains and Arise, and I swear to God, that somebody put me on a fucking time machine, and it was 1992. It was like, it was not 2019. It was 1992. It was like 200 kids in the airport with fucking banners and, you know, getting trampled and shit. Fucking crazy shit. Like, I'm, you know, I'm not used to that kind of stuff. And so it was like, what the fuck is going on, man? But it's awesome, man. Like, the level of fan base and loyalty and how much they appreciate. We go into those countries like Nicaragua and Costa Rica and El Salvador, Venezuela. A lot of those countries have problem with the government and poverty and all this shit. And the heavy music is what they have, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they embrace the heavy music. And it's similar to my growing up. When I grew up in Brazil, people look at Brazil as, you know, beautiful beaches and girls in bikinis and shit. But if you go to Brazil, there's the whole other side is like crime and poverty, corruption, fucked up shit, you know? And we grew up on that side. We grew up on the dark side. And that's why we levitate towards music. Music was our salvation. It was our weapon. You know, we're going to use this music to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And we did, you know, and so I understand the connection that they feel, especially records like Beneath the Remains and Arise. They're very edgy records, very trash, you know. They, on those countries, they love that kind of shit, man. So those shows are fucking amazing.
Well, like you said, you know, like they relate to that because they come from similar backgrounds as you. Like, a lot of those countries are impoverished, and your music becomes a voice for them, just like music became a voice for you. So they totally gravitate to that, for sure. Right,
but at the same time, we still do stuff in America and Canada. Like the Nail Bomb tour in Canada was incredible. We had, I don't know, like 15 or 17 shows in Canada. We went everywhere, Thunder Bay and everywhere, man. It was incredible. We came on one side. We were there for a whole month. I was joking. I said, by the time we get out here, I'm gonna have a Canadian accent, you know.
New dude to boot it, Max. New dude. There we go.
That's it, man.
I still feel like, Max, I owe you a little bit of maybe I got a beef with you about 2002, that tour. My heart has never been the same from when I saw you in the Riddell Center. I had to leave the venue because I've never heard drums that intense in my fucking life. My heart skipped beats so much. I loved it, but also I was like, I'm gonna fucking have a heart attack. I gotta get out of here. That is so amazing, and I will never forget that. But now I think it's permanently damaged.
That's cool, man. That's good to hear. And
cool,
I love playing Canada. I always enjoy it, man. You know, it's always, the fans are great and always a good time there. And the Nail Bomb was one of my favorite tours. You know, not just the fact that it's an album that is close to my heart, because I remember I did that record when nobody was paying attention to what we were doing, you know. Chaos AD was the main album that I was busy with. But on the side, I had this no bomb thing with Alex, and kind of came out of left field. Nobody was expecting that shit, and it blew up. Like on the underground, became a cult record. Still today is a cult record.
Totally a cult record, absolutely.
And when we had the chance to do it live with my kids on it,
Man.
Zion playing drums, Igor doing vocals, doing the keyboards, and yeah, man, that was definitely one of my favorite tours. Hopefully we get to do it again.
Yeah, you played that cover to cover. That was sick. I remember when I was younger, I went to my music store that me and Troy always frequented all the time to get our shit. And I was just, go to the metal section. I'm looking around, and I don't know. I didn't really have anything in mind. And the one record store clerk there comes up to me and he's like, "You ever heard of Nail Bomb, man?" I was like, "Nah, dude." He's like, "Okay, just fucking take it. You like Sepultura?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, just take this. Trust me."
Yeah, take this shit and check it out.
He's like, "Trust me. You know Max Cavalera?" I was like, "Obviously I know Max Cavalera." He's like, "Yeah, it's him. Just take it. Just go." I was like, "Okay, thanks, bro."
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
I mean, with a name like that, you can't really go wrong. It's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
It actually should say in the cover, "This record is gonna fuck you up."
Yeah, get rid of the parental advisory. Just say underneath, "This record is gonna fuck you up." So.
Well, I think even the imagery of like the cover art too. Know it's in store. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and it was and what's funny is how modern that record is in terms of the lyrics and the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's made for Trump America, pretty much.
Absolutely.
It's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker." Yeah. It's like, it's so about today. It's like, I mean, we toured a couple years ago, but I remember thinking, Wasting Away, Vai Tomar no Cu, Guerrillas, the Sum of Your Achievements, those all topics that are more relevant now than they are when we wrote this fucking shit. It's insane.
Well, you wrote that was 94, wasn't it? 94, 95?
Yeah, it was around. It was written in 94, maybe came out in 95. Okay. I don't remember exactly, but we used to call it jokingly was called the Hate Project, and we hate everything. It was the kind of joke like, we're not racist, we hate everyone,
yeah, kind
of shit. And Nail Bomb didn't have a filter, man. It was like, fuck you in all directions.
Like kind of like a nail bomb going off. Yeah.
Right, exactly. There's no filter. There's no political correctness. None of that bullshit. It's just in your face. The music is the same, the lyrics, and when you put out both together, what you see is what you get. But it was a lot of fun making the record and bringing back to life all those years later.
And music like Nail Bomb there, Max, when you look back at some of the stuff you've done, I know you touched on saying like how some of these other artists like Sabbath and their stuff should be in a museum. Do you ever feel like, you know what, the stuff that you're doing or have done in the past is really going to last, a lifetime for a lot of people and be as integral to people moving forward?
Well, one of the things I'm proud of it, and I think that it's a little bit, might be a little bit weird to some people, but to me it feels very natural, is that we are not afraid to explore different areas. So, if you look at my career, we started in the beginning of black metal, death metal, Bastard Devastation. That shit was straight up, corpse paint, black metal.
Right.
Before, before Immortal, before all those bands,
Yeah. Right.
And then you have like Schizophrenia, Beneath the Remains of Right. That's more trash. And then you have Chaos AD, is a bit more groove. Then Roots, percussion, world music. And then Nail Bomb, industrial music. I think that's awesome, man. Like, I'm not afraid to go in get out of my comfort zone. I don't even know what my comfort zone is anymore because I touch so much different kinds of metal. I was watching this TV show Banger. They do all these subdivisions of metal and all this shit. And they were
that's a documentary, right?
Right, yeah. And then they were like, I was watching it like, Morbid Division in Best Station was on the black metal one, and then on the death metal. Then Sepultura Beneath the Remains was on the thrash metal one. The Soulfly was on the groove metal one. Nailbomb was an industrial metal. I was like, that's awesome, man. To me, that's living a full life. You know, you get really experiment, and it's all metal. In the end of the day, if it's good shit, if it's from the heart, if it's honest, people see through it. I know my fans, they see through it. I wouldn't touch it otherwise. And so I'm very proud of like always not being afraid to try different things, get out of the comfort zone, and experiment with different kinds of metal. And I think that's cool. That's what makes this whole thing exciting, you know?
Absolutely. You don't want to get too stagnant, because then, maybe the fans are like, I've heard this record before. They've done this one before. They've done that before. Like, it's cool to branch out and do different things, expand your horizons, and keep it fresh for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a curious guy by nature, and I probably wouldn't be satisfied if I had to keep making the same record for 30 years. Nothing wrong about bands that do, and I don't think there's a lot of bands that actually do that. People say Motorhead did that. I disagree. I think Motorhead, a lot of their stuff is very different. They had a lot of blues. They had a lot of rock and roll. They had some thrash metal. So I don't even agree with that. Like some people say Slayer is all the same. Not to me, man. Hell H is very different from Repentless. Very, very different records. So I mean, it's just kind of, I'm a curious guy by nature. I like to go and experiment with different stuff. Sometimes I'm more into, like during Nailbomb, I was very into the industrial shit. So I was listening to a lot of Godflesh and Young Gods, Ministry. And I kind of like, we did our own version of that without people telling us how it's made. We created on our own heads what we think industrial metal should sound like. We didn't call Al Yorkson and ask him how to do this thing. We just did it, and hopefully it will be cool. Hopefully people gonna like it, and then eventually became a cult record, and I think that's even more fun when you don't try to get like to know exactly how the masters did it, and you just do it because it's like your own version of it. Because to me, music, this business, I mean, it never came with the manual how to be a rock star, how to be a musician. I never read anything like that. So it's all on trial and error. A lot of fuck ups, a lot of get knocked down, getting the back up again and trying again. And that's the beauty of it, man. I think that's what makes it more real and organic than any other prefabricated pop shit,
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
and Max, you've always struck me as a guy who definitely is not afraid to try something new, just based on like all the collabs from like, in the 2000s, going out and like with Chino Marino, like Fred Durst, and then you got like Ice-T, things like that, Mike Patton. Like there's a little bit of everything in there. And, some people are, would be in a mindset of like, hey, I can't do that because it's not me. Whereas I get the vibe like, fuck it, let's have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, most of those collaborations, again, I like their stuff, so it's easy for me to get into it. I mean, even new metal, there's some people talk shit about it. It's easy to paint a target nowadays and talk shit about it. But if we go back in time, at that time, and you listen to some of those records were pretty awesome, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It was before other bands ruined it, and we don't need to mention names.
Come on.
Let's do it. Fuck them, yeah.
Linkin Park and
Yeah.
whatever, Papa Roach, whatever the fuck,
There you go.
But it was like, so yeah, I'm not, when it's other people like Ice-T, of course, I'm always been a
body count
fan. Ice-T has always been cool to me. We toured together in a Ministry tour. Helmet had an accident and body count filling for a whole week.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then Ice-T was wearing the Sepultura beanie, and he was giving us shout-outs and stuff. And, when he asked me to be on his record, well, of course, I gave him one of my favorite riffs, and it was really cool to be part of that. But I again, like I said, I'm a student of metal, and I'm kind of like a fan at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, to be in a room with a musician, I feel very comfortable, man. It's like, it'd be hard for you to put somebody in a room that's going to faze me.
Right.
It'd be hard. I don't know. Like, I cannot even think about it right now. But, working with Sean Lennon, that was fucking off the wall as it can get. It was like Beatles shit mixed a little bit alternative. And we wrote an awesome song. I love Sun Song. It's like one of my favorite tracks on Primitive. So yeah, man, I embrace the challenge. I really, really don't back away from it. There's of course a couple things I probably would not do. I don't know, maybe with some pop singer or something. I probably because I'm just not into that, man. The plastic pop stuff just don't faze me. The same as stuff like Grammys don't faze me. Like, that shit's stupid. It's stupid, ridiculous, man. I make a joke all the time. I say Grammys are like hemorrhoids. Eventually, every asshole gets one. It's true, Lemmy should have got a fucking Grammy. Dio should have got a Grammy. Those guys never got a Grammy.
No.
Fuck the Grammys, man.
Yeah,
that shit's fake.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I don't look to those things. Like, those things don't faze me. Like, to me, when I feel like my stuff is worth it, when I talk to a fan and he tells me, you know what? My sister was going through fucking cancer, and in the hospital, all she did was listen to Soulfly. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Damn, that's deep. That's hard. That's more brutal than the hardest music in the world, That's the truth. That's the purest form of true expression of what music can do to people. Absolutely. And then when people tell me that kind of stuff, that's really cool. That, to me, that's like, that's what makes this whole thing worth it more than anything else.
Those accolades, those accolades don't mask connection that you have with people and fans, and how that incorporates the family as well, bringing them involved, and it's just it's all love, really.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to teach my kids that there's many when you're working in music, there'll be a lot of I don't know, like, opportunities to take advantage. Sometimes the easy road maybe is not the best road to take. Maybe the hard road is better in the long run. So looking back at my career now, I think that that the road that we took was a bit more of the left side road. Was like, we could have went in a much more commercial way and probably would have got a lot bigger and it would have sold a lot more records. But musically and in terms of my own soul, I wouldn't feel good about it as I do now, So it comes down to that, it comes down to feel good about yourself and your music and what you do, and have a honest relationship with the fans, and then I kind of have like my own bullshit detector that I know when I'm starting to bullshit, I have to shut up, and it's like it's the same with music. If I'm doing a riff and it's becoming stale or crap, I have to cut it off and don't use it. It's like my own bullshit detector. But you gotta use it because you want to put out the best way you can put out there for the fans. Always. I look at every record as a challenge, and all of them, you're always trying to make the best record you can make all the time. Never stops.
in your opinion, Max, looking back on let's say just Soulfly, what is your favorite Soulfly album that you put out so far?
But it varies. The hardest one is the first one, for sure.
Absolutely.
Hardest to make, Crazy Time.
Mm-hmm.
But also kind of a weird place that was kind of cool to be. It was kind of like the lyrics of No Hope, No Fear. It was like, I got no hope now, so I had no fear. I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want, and that's how that record comes about. And I think I'm never probably gonna be able to make another record like that because of the situation coming out of Sepultura, the depression, and that album is like an explosion, of feelings, and I'm in a crazy place of surrendering to the metal, surrendering to the music. But on the other hand, I'm really fan of stuff like Prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
That's when all the three guys that were with me all left, and I have to start a band again. So it was similar to the first record,
mm-hmm.
building all over again. So that's when we start, discover Mark Rizzo and Joe Nunes. And Mark become a partner for many, many years, still is today.
Yeah.
I like Ritual a lot. I mean, I know it's kind of trendy. People say my last record, my favorite one, but I do believe there's a genuine honesty on Ritual, and it did. I think Josh Wilbur with us, we did capture an immense, deep Soulfly connection on the record with the beginnings of the band, with the groove stuff, together with my own love of extreme metal stuff that I listen to. So that definitely one of my favorite records too. So between those three, I think those are my three favorites.
Awesome. Mine is Primitive, so there you go.
Primitive is a weird one. People didn't like it because of
that one got me through so
you know?
much. That got me through so much shit in my high school years, for sure.
There you go. That's why I love it. I love to hear stories like that.
And I think I was with Joey there too. That was one of the ones he introduced me to. That was my first Soulfly one. I had Roots before, and then I think I introduced Joey to that.
Yeah,
and then he kept the train rolling, man. And then like from there on, it was like opened their fucking eyes to a whole world of different things that are out there, man. Because really.
Yeah, we went backwards because we started with Primitive, then we went back to Soulfly 1. And because I was a huge fan of Slipknot. When Slipknot came out, there was
for sure. First record's insane.
Oh, dude, that one still holds up. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's like the best record Slipknot's ever put out. I still listen to that shit. But you had that song with Corey Taylor, Jump the Fuck Up, and I was like, I used to listen to that shit like every day getting ready to go to fucking school. It's like, oh, that always got me.
Primitive. The only thing some people complain was too many gas, but
fuck that. Who cares, man? That's your whole spirit. You love that. It's like you talk about how you go when you're touring with guys, and you bring everyone together, and like for us as fans, like me and Troy, like we still listen to music from that era. Like I'll still listen to Snot, Seven Dust, fucking whatever, Limp Bizkit the odd time if I feel crazy, but all those. I mean, that whole new metal era, right? So that was cool.
How do I say no to recording with Tom Araya, Tino, and Corey? It's like,
exactly.
They came and they're like, we're gonna do this. I gotta be an idiot to like, no, we're not doing this because there's gonna be too many people on this record.
Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Corey. You guys left. Just go fuck yourself.
I'm not putting you on because you guys be too many people on this record.
Yeah, come on.
And then even for the album, like 3, when you were, did that song with Christian Machado, like that was still in my wheelhouse and like meant so much to me. Just the feelings. I was like, man, this is great. Like somebody's just giving the opportunity to like these artists to bring them on something so hard and badass and just get them the exposure that they needed and, to make it realize, hey, these guys are more than just hard-ass music. He cares about what's going on out there to get people on these records.
Yeah, Tree of Pain was one of my favorite tracks.
That's one of my favorite songs is actually.
Yeah, that one was a real trip to make because it was like drum machine and like 7 minutes long and had Asha, her brother just committed suicide. So she was in a real sad place and singing those lyrics from her heart. I mean, it was hard, man. It was hard to watch her record, you know. But yeah, I'm extremely proud of these records, you know. I mean, Primitive is actually gold in America because it was back in the days where people bought the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have those anymore. Those are like from another planet era, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
How have you adapted to that?
Soulfly 1 is actually gold. It's actually went gold before Roots, and then Roots was gold, and then Primitive. How I adopted that? You just gotta adopt. You gotta roll with it, man. You gotta survive. You know, you can't be a crabby bastard just going, fuck, those times were good. Now it sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you gonna do about it is what counts. Not that you can't stay home and just complain about. Yeah, we used to sell records. So did everybody else, man. You know.
Mhm.
So what do? You go on tour. You know, to survive. You find different ways to make worth it. You know, and we do that. You know, but I'm so proud that the first record, Soulfly 1, went gold in America before Roots even. And to me, that was huge, you know. And
that's crazy to me. Yeah.
Because of the new metal thing, and everybody just went nuts on that record. But whatever reason, you know, it's still cool to have that on the wall, man. You know, it's like it was a big deal, you know. So, you know, but nowadays we make music without that thinking there. You know, we don't make music thinking, yeah, we're gonna sell a gold record. We don't think like that anymore. So we just kind of think now it's actually kind of better because now it's back to the music again, you know.
Right.
Because maybe that got a little bit in the way. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's kind of freeing when you don't have those expectations you're trying to live up to. It's like,
pressure,
this
you know,
this one didn't go gold. God damn it!
Right.
You know? Yeah, that's cool.
You know, if Soulfly 1 was good, Primitive was good. Like the next one, it has to be also gold. And if that doesn't happen, and if you're like a failure, but then maybe the record that's a failure is actually better than the. I don't know. You know, right. But I think right now it's actually more back to the music itself. You know, so it's really kind of like more about the passion of the music again. And I think that's, to me, is where is my favorite place to be, is because of the music that I'm here, is because of the fans and the whole connection of the music, the riffs, the lyrics, and then hear stories of guys like you, man, that you discovered these albums and they help you through your day and shit. And
you blew my heart out of my chest. It's all.
Yeah,
that's it. Drums, that's it, man. always these great stories. What to me is what keeps me want to wake up in the morning, pick up a guitar, and write more riffs. You know.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
and you know, you stay relevant throughout it all. Like the longevity's there, and you know, there's everything from just connecting with different cultures to having, you know, family involved. And like, I guess going back to family stuff here, just you know, having kids that are just carving out their own path and continuing to carry on the Cavalera name. Like that's just, it's incredible, right? They could do, you know, whatever they'd like, but they have the opportunity to do this with you in their corner, but also to just do their own thing. Like how impressive has that been? Exactly. To see like Richie, Igor, Zion doing their thing.
Yeah, you know, to me is great because always when I first had them, you know, when I became a dad in the first place, it was always in the back of my mind, like one day maybe I get to jam with my kids, you know. And that was the only thing that I thought of it, you know. And so when that started to happen in the real world, it's actually almost like a surreal experience. There's a video of it's on YouTube, is when Igor is like 13 or 12. He's got his suicidal Troops of Doom. It's got like 1 billion views, you know. It's insane. But to me, like, those moments are kind of surreal still today, that should actually happen, you know. It was like, damn, this is so cool.
He was telling us about that when he was on there a couple of weeks ago. He said he's you know, he's like, I was like 12 or 13 and I just kind of pretend I was in the garage jamming out.
Right? It's crazy. I mean, like, I mean, I remember when we did Nail Bomb, and my brother gave Richie a mohawk the day before the show. Richie wanted to look weird and crazy and punk rock, and so he gave him a mohawk, and I gave Richie my guitar, and he came out before Cockroaches and did like a little guitar intro. That show, there's 120,000 people at that show. It was the biggest dynamo in the history of Holland.
That's cool.
And I was like, if I was, 11 years old and got to go in front of 120,000 people, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, man. We get to do stuff like that, One of the coolest things lately that I've been part of it was my 49th birthday was in Poland, and was the Woodstock of Poland. It was 700,000 people. That was insane. Because it's a free show, No, nobody pays, but still, it's a shitload of people, man. It just goes forever, Totally. So you have to kind of turn off the part in your brain that says there is 700,000 people here, and you kind of got to go, yeah, I'm in a garage right now. Just fuck it,
Yeah.
That's the only way you get through it without freaking out. And
without freaking
don't
out.
step on the stage.
So you're playing for 700,000 people. Do you still get those pre-show jitters before you take the stage, even though you've been doing this for so long?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I
guess that's why you chase that feeling all the time, right?
Always, man. And that's part of what's cool about it, is that those goosebumps and freaking out. I mean, I remember one of the shows we did was the meeting of the Juggalos. You guys heard about this, right?
Oh, yeah. There's many videos to watch on those.
I've never been so scared in my fucking life to get on the stage, man. We saw the band before us get destroyed with Fagel cans and food flying in, and I was like, we're gonna get murdered, man. It's not even gonna be funny, but we gotta play this shit, right?
Yeah.
I remember the first one we did, there was a couple rap guys that didn't show up. So the announcer guy was like, the game didn't show up, and this guy didn't show up. No, Soulfly. And it was like this fucking quiet moment, and it was like a couple boos, And I'm looking at my roadie going, I don't have to go there, right? He's like, yeah, get the fuck on the stage. The intro is on. He's like, no, I don't want to go, man. I really don't want to go. He's like jumping out of a helicopter without parachutes. You just don't want to do it, But we did, man. It was cool. Like after the third song, I got hit with a Fagel can twice on the second song, and
that's initiation out there. They love it.
Right. And then it got good, and then crowd liked it, and by the end we fucking conquer, man.
Yeah.
So you go back to the dressing room with a new look of life, like we fucking came here and we fucking conquered this shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were still throwing but it's missing you. So that's their
feel like it's like some warrior shit, man. Right. It's crazy. That. So that was interesting, man. That was pretty fun.
That's so cool. That's hilarious.
Was that the closest to kind of sheer fear you've had for a concert and saying, like, you know what? Maybe I'm in over my head for this shit?
Well, that one and the first Rock in Rio, where, remember, it was Sepultura, Fate No More, Guns N' Roses, and Megadeth. Again, there's 100,000 people in the stadium, and it's a stadium we grew up in Brazil watching football games, and also I never ever in my life ever imagined I get to play there. So now we're playing there, like somebody pinch me and wake me up because I gotta be dreaming, Yeah. That show was so crazy. I felt like I was in the highest drug high of my whole life, and I was totally straight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I didn't drink anything before the show. I didn't took any drugs, and I felt like I was so high. It was so crazy. After the show, I was laying down behind the stage, completely drenched, red from the sun that was in our face, and just high as a kite. from fucking energy, you know?
Yeah, pure euphoria from that, man.
Holy shit. I wish we could bottle that and use it later, you know?
Wow.
That feeling, man, you know, like that's like that's one of the first pure adrenaline life highs you get. And then the thing is that once you experience that, you keep chasing, you want to do it again. Somehow eventually that's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
And it does, man. That's what's cool, you know. It does. Like the Poland show happened, and I'm sure more shows next year whenever this shit goes back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
We go back out there and we do it until we don't do it anymore or whatever, you know. But I'm not, don't see myself doing pulling the Slayer thing, like retiring or maybe slowing down could be the case. And, you know, let the kids have fun for a little bit. Let them go out there and do a little bit of the you know, the roughening that we did. And we can take it easy a little bit. You know, I always wanted to get a motorhome with Gloria and travel cross country and maybe slow down a little bit, but not retire. Fuck that. I can't. I don't know how to do anything else, man. I'll be a completely useless person. You know, I'll be a waste. I'll be psychotic without music. So it's a good thing I have music with my life every day.
That's a good thing for everybody.
do you think Gloria would even let your ass retire there, man? I feel like she'd want to tour and be a part of the kids thing they're doing as well. Yeah,
she's totally into, man. It's great, you know. Like a lot of people don't see this because it's like behind the scenes, and we don't do a lot of stuff on social media like all the bands do. Like you can see 24 hours of what they're doing every day. We don't really have that. And I kind of like that, you know. It's kind of cool. It keeps you a little bit still with some mystery left.
Certainly.
But she's awesome because she's like working at 3 a.m. Like I'm past out already. I'm done. I'm going to bed. She's in the office working, man, making tour plans. And then the other thing she does that's awesome, it'll be the middle of the day. She's in the kitchen preparing dinner. And she's blasting Healing Magic as loud as a metalhead, you know, as loud as I listen to metal. We cannot even talk to her in the kitchen. Like, what are you cooking? I have to scream, you know, what the fuck you cooking? What's for dinner tonight? Because she has that CD so loud. She loves the Healing Magic CD. It's fucking great, man, you know. It's really, really, awesome. She's really a proud mama, for sure. And she works hard. And we got a good thing going, you know, between her love of managing and the way she does the things, which are very unorthodox, not like a typical manager. Mm-hmm. Like she goes on the road with us. A normal manager don't, you know, he's in the office in LA. He doesn't fucking touch the road. Right. He doesn't want to be with those animals, man. You know. And she's like taming the animals on the road, keeping everybody in line, man. You know, and it's hard because a lot of us. Some of us can be pretty fucked up on tour, but yeah, it's fun, man. We chose the right jobs, you know. Like I don't step on her toes, she don't step on mine. Like she don't tell me how to write a song, and I don't tell her how to manage, you know. So it works out good.
Without a doubt, you guys awesome. have a good thing going, and sounds like you're really proud of the crew and the family, the kids. And can I ask you, Max, like, would you say that maybe losing your father at a young age kind of made you become the family man you are now, and how important it is to have them on the road with you a lot of the time?
Well, I think that has something to do with it. I mean, the family thing is definitely South American, Brazilian thing. Mm-hmm. You know, families in countries like Brazil, Argentina, it's sacred. It's incredible. They're very tight. They have like Sunday dinners together. And it's really cool, you know. I like that a lot about that culture, that family culture. So I remember, actually, after my father died, my mom became the main person in our life, and she was really cool because she let headbangers stay in my house. She never kicked them out. So a couple of times in my house in Belo Horizonte, there'll be guys sleeping in the bathroom, some guys sleeping in the backyard. Sometimes there'll be 15 people in my house, and she'll be feeding all of them. And she never complained, man. It's always, so I always took that to heart. Like, that's actually pretty cool, you know. So I think when I started my own family, I kind of wanted to create similar kind of environments where there's music playing. There's always doing barbecues in the backyard, playing some metal. You know, my kids remember listening to some bands they remember from back in the day. You know, could be Brazilian bands that I listen to, or some heavy stuff, Fear Factory or Biohazard, whatever. You know, but yeah, I think the whole family thing is actually kind of works in a really cool way, because it's kind of I think the fans and the Soulfly tribe is actually an extension of the family, the way we see it, you know. And that's, I think it's really cool. Like, going on tour, we see a lot of the same faces in the crowd, and that's, to me, that's so awesome. You know, it's like some of these fans have been going to shows for 25, 30 years, you know, and they don't get sick of it. They want more. They're always there. It's great, you know. So it becomes a bit like a family thing, you know. Becoming is what I call, we become, you know, part of the tribe. You're in the Soulfly tribe, and I think the metal tribe, the biggest tribe in the world, you know. And I mean, that's pretty amazing, you know, and really something that I'm pretty proud of it, you know.
Rightfully so. That's
Absolutely.
awesome, man.
Totally. Just kind of sticking with family, when you guys have probably the rare occasion that you can all be together, and say for like a Cavalera Christmas, what would something like that look like for you guys? Any traditions you might have?
Oh, every holiday, kind of like Gloria goes overboard and go above and beyond, you know. So either Halloween or Father's Day or whatever it is, you know. Even like Easter, man, she like make like plastic eggs with dollar bills and put them in the backyard, and kids got to go find them, and I'll be the one of the people finding, because I'm gonna make some money here today, you know. I'm gonna go buy some fucking warheads and airheads later, you know, some candy. So every holiday in the Cavalera is adventure, and Christmas is probably the craziest of all.
Yeah.
Because she goes off, man. It's kind of like, we're gonna go broke. Yep, let's go fucking broke. And we buy a bunch of shit that don't use it, they don't need it, but we buy it anyway. And it's cool, man. Everybody comes over, and still there's the young ones, the grandkids that still believe in Santa and all that shit, you know. I always get a new Detroit Lions t-shirt. Nice. You know, and probably have like 6-7 different ones right now. But it's cool. It's fun. The holidays are definitely fun, man.
Awesome.
It just sounds like you guys really enjoy what you're doing in general, not just music, life. You're making it a part of who you are, and, you know, and letting the people that listen to it become more than just fans. It's like friends, and, you know, you said it yourself, the extension. They're the tribe that you guys really have, and, you know, make you keep doing what you're doing and give you the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and a lot of the friends that we have, they actually were fans at one point, you know. So we have old school fans that are friends now, like Fatty used to be the Sepultura fan club owner of the used to be called Nomadic Warriors. And one of the cool things I remember was Fatty came to my house once, and he had Paul from Slipknot membership card on the Nomadic Warriors fan club as a Sepultura fan. And he came to my house and brought that over, and then Paul came to visit me, and I showed that to him. I was like, I have your membership card on the Sepultura fan club, motherfucker. You know, like, what? You have what? That's crazy, man, you know. So kind of like everywhere in the world, we have friends that were fans at some point, and they become friends for life, and it's really cool. And now they do other stuff like go camping with my kids, and they always come to shows. They will always be fans. That's what's cool. That doesn't change. They're always fans of the music, and they wait for records. And when a good record comes out, they let me know. When something that's not so good, they let me know too. So so it's kind of cool, man. It's I think it's important to have that. It's part of the it's part of our life. It has become part of our the fabric of our lives. So yeah, I wouldn't change it for anything, man. It's been a great journey.
Yeah, and life is just a little different though now with this COVID stuff, and things changing up. And I know Igor mentioned that you guys have been trying to stay busy, like you said, staying busy on YouTube, things like that. And he's mentioned about maybe getting you on Twitch and doing Q&As with fans and
Right.
playing guitar, stuff like that. Is that something you're gonna do, or maybe you just like still laying low and doing what you got and keeping some of that privacy?
Right. I'm getting my feet wet more and more. I'm not a social media guy yet.
Well, you're here right now, so there you go.
Right. I mean, I did kind of got in connect with that cameo thing, and that's really cool.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, like those are really cool, like real neat things you do for the fans. Like special birthday messages, and when people, a lot of them are not even birthdays. They're just people that are home, they're down, they feeling depressed. They just want to lift up from their idol, and we get to do that. So yeah, I started doing that a couple, I think 2 weeks ago. I did about 32 of those so far, and it's pretty cool. Igor has been Igor and Aggie, they've been just showing me Twitch, so I'm gonna look more into that. Hopefully there's a way to do it that'll be kind of cool, to do with my guitar, with my riffs, or do something funny, tell some stories. So yeah, little by little I get more into that, but I always kind of feel like it's kind of cool to do it, but don't overdo it. I don't want to be out there that much, but a little bit, it's okay.
Sure, there's some bands I know that are really integral on it. It's big for them. Like one of the bigger ones that I think is Trivium, like Matt Heafy's always on it, doing cool stuff like that, and really reaches out to a younger audience and people who are just.
But does like even when he goes to the bathroom, he brings the camera in? I mean, that's too much, man. Come on.
We want to know how he makes that sound, how aggressive things got to be in there to get those riffs, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's life, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm just looking at whatever things I'm probably gonna start doing. But right now is a good time to think of outside the box a little bit. I thought about doing a couple YouTube things with Zion, go and jam some songs in the jam pad and putting it out there, and then doing the Twitch thing with Igor, and be kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's also an idea to read my book online somehow, maybe through Twitch even, and I read like 2 pages every day or 3 pages of the book, my voice, with me reading, showing some pictures. And I think people be interested on that kind of shit,
Absolutely. You could do that with Twitch, or tell Igor to hook you up with a Discord server. He'll do it.
Right on. Yeah.
He knows what's up. That's why you got the kids, right? They keep you.
That's it, man. They keep me modern.
Well, they've been helping.
Otherwise, I'm just a caveman metalhead without a phone, because I don't have a phone. And that's the other day I was talking to Zion, and he was freaking out you're the only guy I know that don't have a phone, man.
You're the only sane person in the world, basically.
Yeah, basically.
He was like, nobody I know don't have a phone. You're the only fucking guy without a fucking phone. And I was like, well, I can top that. I also never seen Star Wars.
It's not that great. Don't worry about it. I'll say it.
Much, yeah. There you go.
It's not that great. Now you're ruining it. Now I'm never going to watch it.
Yeah, don't. We just saved you 12 fucking years of your life.
Maybe one of these days I'll pick it up and try.
Yeah,
What the
try
hell?
it.
But
See what you get.
you know, but yeah, but you know, it's cool to have the kids for that kind of stuff. You know, Igor, actually, me and Igor, we go way back with bands. You know, he was always tells me about bands that I should check it out. You know, he's the one that told me about Full of Hell and Conan and so many other great bands. You know, and that's really cool because I am always trying to find some new shit, man. You know, on my own, but sometimes it's cool to have your kids can come and tell you knows a band that you don't know about it, and you go check it out, and they blow you away, you know, and it's great, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, we're lucky enough to have like Richie on weekly here. We somehow snagged his ass here.
Yeah,
he gets to tell us some cool stuff every week that we get to promote and check out, and it's so fun, right? You know, that's what you guys are about, just coming on and chatting with some fucking scumbag Saskatchewan kids and letting us have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I love like how I love how hard Richie works too. Like it's great. It's definitely like really how do I say this? It's really inspiring to me to watch going through him. Like he does merch and then goes and play a show and then go in a van and travel to another town and does all the driving and the next day he looks like he's fucking dead, man. You know, it's like unhealthy. He's got bags under his eyes and shit. Like, and I go, go sleep in my bunk for a while, man. You know, like, and then I like goes back to the van and keep doing. But that's kind of cool. Like they want to do that. They want to be. They don't want to take the easy way out. You know, right. And I think I admire that. You know, it's the same with all my kids. You know, the same with Igor. The same with Zion. You know, it's like, it's they want to. They want to do the music, but they also want to have a taste of the hardship that you need to, because that's part of the magic, man. You know, is the hardship because that builds character. You know, that you wouldn't have otherwise. You know, so
he'll never appreciate the good times and the success you have if you don't go through all the hardship to get there, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like you know, to me is some of the best lessons being sleeping under stages in Brazil and traveling for 48 hours in a bus full of chickens and and goats and drinking hot whiskey and going to the north of the country to do one show, man. You know, and those experiences, they kind of carve who you are. You know, they stay with you for a long time, you know, and right. Of course very different now. We have beautiful tour buses and you know, much more luxurious way of life. But you always remember those days, man. It's great, you know. It's how we've been through that. So that's what I try to say. Like, I think sometimes there's a generation of bands that I think sometimes right now that don't know any of that. They haven't slept under stage. Some of them never even been in a van before, man. You know, it's like they gotta know that shit, man. You gotta feel that burn to be to have the, you know, that's what builds character. That's what makes a band, you know.
Well, I imagine that's got to help out with the live show too. And you're fucking driving 2 days in a goddamn truck with chickens and goats, and by the time you get to the fucking place to play a show, you're just ready to fucking lose it.
Oh, those shows are rippers.
What better way to do it?
Those are ripping shows. You know, there's some videos. There's some YouTube videos of that shit. You know, back in the day. You know, like sometimes it's funny. I watch a little bit of those YouTube videos to remember the past. There's a really funny one where we're recording a Morris sound, and I think I'm doing vocals for Arise. And not many people know this because there's no subtitles, but there's a break between a vocal, and I'm in the lounge with Igor, and I ask Igor 25 cents to drink a Coke, and he looks at me and goes, I don't have it, you know, I'm broke, I don't have 25 cents. And I go, all right, fuck it, so I just drink tap water, you know. And that's like how broke we were at that time, you know. I remember when we first came to America, our first tour, Roadrunner gave us, I think it was like $7 a day There was the per diems.
Wow.
$7 from Roadrunner?
Yeah. So I remember I bought like 2 Dorito bags and a Gatorade. That was it. That was the whole thing I had to eat the whole day.
Wow.
You know, hopefully the venue had some pizza or some shit after
No
the show,
doubt.
you know.
That's
But-
fucking crazy.
Yeah. So that's like part of it, man. Part of that. So it's kind of fun sometimes to watch some of those videos and remember that shit, you know.
Certainly. Like, that's it. For everybody listening that thinks touring is such a fucking glamorous life when you're signed to a label, $7 a day from Roadrunner Records. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. And we didn't complain. We're like, all right,
Oh yeah, for sure.
take
But
what we
like,
can get. We just
yeah.
want to go on tour, you know.
well, for sure. But come on, man, you can do fucking $10 a day. At least get something.
Fucking
Right.
pony it up there. Yeah, let's get her at an even 10. No, 7. You get them Doritos
Yeah.
and fucking
7.
Gatorades.
Yeah, and shut
That's
up.
it.
Yeah, get out there and make my fucking money, Max. Yeah, exactly. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck, but you've lived quite the life, man. Like, your resume is fucking huge. You got stories to
Speaks
tell,
for
and I know
itself.
there's like, you know, I haven't read the biography yet, but, you know, it's on the list among many things, right? I got to get Igor's books because
Yeah, read it. It's pretty cool because it's funny and sad, but it's full of real chaotic situations that are like, you swear to God, you cannot make this shit up, man. You know, this shit is crazy. You know, like all the stories with Lemmy and Ozzy and Eddie Vedder and all that shit. So they're all in the book, and that's what I was thinking. Like, if I did the reading of the book on
Absolutely.
a Switch channel or some shit like that, would have been huge. It would have been cool, and I think the fans, because I think a lot of people have not read the book, you know, because like some people are not into books, you know. But if they're
I'd read your book. Hell yeah.
right, even somebody at home watching that on Switch or YouTube, they might be like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'll give this thing a chance." You know?
I'll tune in, definitely see what it's all about, see some comments
absolutely.
from fans.
Yeah. So we'll get that. We'll get that done in the future, and then in the meantime, just being very careful, very healthy as we can get, staying busy with the music. But I'm optimistic that I think it's stuff gonna be all right next year. I think we'll be okay. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, some of the stuff I've been hearing, man. There'll be some stuff like my friend was telling me the other day, like he heard something on a podcast with Rob from Machine Head saying that they got booked to play somewhere for like November, but they're like the 7th band on the list, and if they want to get bumped to the 2nd band, they gotta pay like extra $20,000 to do that shit. See, that's fucked, man. That's that's when this fucking business turned to shit because of stupid shit like that, you know?
Yeah, that's
because
disrespectful.
I understand there'll be a huge amount of bands that wanted to go play right away, that didn't get to play, that cancel. But don't take advantage of the situation to make money, man. That's fucking dirty. That's just not cool, man. Yeah,
well, that's what everybody's doing across the board, really. You know,
right?
just jacking
Exactly.
shit up, and then the last bastion of fucking hope that anybody has is like maybe seeing live music again, and they're fucking that up too. So
yeah, unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast, you know. But that's I kind of stay on the other side of it. Like I don't do good with business, so I stay away from it. I stay on the music side, and I stay on the pure music side, and that's why Gloria, she does the business, because I don't have patience.
Yeah, I imagine your business end is like a boot up somebody's ass.
I'll blow up, man. I'll be like, fuck this. I cannot deal with this shit, you know?
absolutely, rightfully so.
Yeah, but eventually, I'm optimistic that things are gonna get back normal, and we're gonna have shows soon again next year or something, and you know, everything will get back to be back again, and you know, we'll have concerts again. And actually, I kind of look at the flip side of this. People gonna be more into the shows than they ever been before, because they know now that shit can go away, you know.
Exactly.
So it's like they're gonna go to a concert, like, yeah, let's go, like it's the last concert of our life, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know
thought
I'm gonna play like that. I'm gonna play like shit, like my life depends on it, you know. And you know, because then you know that can be taken away from you as easy as this virus show us, you know. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of the cool flip side to it.
Totally.
Yeah, man, that's an awesome way to look at that mixed blessing part of it.
Absolutely. I was just thinking, the last show I worked was actually your show when you came through with Toxic Holocaust there this past, whatever, a couple months ago. And then this COVID shit blew up and, you know, the venue we work at is closed down until further notice. And it was just like, here today, gone tomorrow, you know? It's fucked up.
Was that in Toronto? No,
that was Regina.
Yeah, you were in there February. How the fuck do you come through like Saskatchewan in that shitty ass winter time? I live here and I fucking hate our weather.
Oh man, when you're on tour, it's cool because you don't you're there just for a little bit of time. You're not there enough to hate it.
Yeah.
You know. It's not enough that you hate, so it's enough that you kind of go, okay, this is cool. I can deal with this for a couple of days. I'm gonna, you know, but it don't faze me. I mean, like we've been through all different kind of weather. I mean, we play Siberia in the hardest ever. Like when like it's like 40 below and fucking drunk pilots and shit. Crazy shit like that you don't even want to know, man, you know. And it's like, and we play you know, Costa Rica on those hottest summers ever, where you think you're gonna pass out on the third song. You're like, you got a whole show to play, you don't have oxygen left after the third song. Like the tank is empty, you know. After the third song you're done, man, you know. Where you find strength somewhere and finish those things.
That spirit within gets you, man. That's awesome.
You get through, man, you know. But it's like I say, like I'm actually kind of enjoying this time at home a little bit. It's like I never got to spend that much time like that at home, so it's actually kind of cool. I'm not on the shining phase yet. You know, hopefully I don't get to that. I'm not looking forward to be at the shining phase. Hopefully
hide the axes in the Cavalera.
Right.
Hide the axes, but keep the guitars out. Yeah.
That's right.
We're not there yet. You know, we're kind of like still enjoying it. I'm writing a lot, and I get to do things with Igor and Zion in two different places, and that's kind of cool. And you guys actually, my second interview I had in like 2 months, so this is really cool.
Right on, man. Well, I'm glad we could get you here, and like, I guess. Hey, Joey, have we kept Max long enough to get into some quick hits?
I'll fucking keep Max as long as he wants to be here. But yeah, let's get into some quick hits. He's got shit to do.
Max, this is the hardest hitting, most journalistic part of our podcast. We call them quick hits. They're basically yes or no, really quick answers. I don't want you to think too hard about them, but some of these questions are going to be pretty intense.
All right.
So first one. Roll. Joey, do you got your list ready to rock?
I got it.
Okay, cool. First, Coca-Cola or Pepsi?
Coca-Cola, man.
That's right.
Who's a better drummer, Igor, your brother, or Zion?
Igor's got more experience. Zion's got more energy.
There you go.
Right on.
That's a political fucking answer. I don't get in trouble with anything.
That's okay. That's what it's all about. You can either say and not explain. It's all good. What is your favorite swear word?
In English, motherfucker.
Nice.
In Portuguese, caralho.
And what does that mean?
That means dick.
Right.
Gibson or BC Rich?
BC Rich.
Okay. What city has the best food on tour? City or country?
I have to go with, to me, Holland, shawarma.
Awesome.
Nice. Who's better on the grill, you or Gloria?
On the grill, me, because she doesn't really barbecue, but she kicks my ass on everything else.
Okay.
You know,
Respect.
any other food, yeah, I get my ass kicked. I burn popcorn, brother.
All right, this one here, this is a throwback to when we had Igor on the podcast, and he said, you know, you're a dad, you do dad things, you embarrass him a little bit on purpose. Is it a quesadilla or a quesadilla?
Quesadilla.
He said you like to say things wrong on purpose just to piss him off.
Yeah. They always get on my kid. They always get me to say Arthur and killer. Pop, say killer.
Kids, eh? Fucking
I
kids.
think I'm saying right, but they laugh their ass off when I say it. They think it's the funniest fucking thing in the world. So all right, I'll just roll with it.
Rank who's the best singer from best to worst. You, Richie, and Igor Jr.
I'm the best, and
yeah.
I'll say Igor and then Richie.
There you go.
Okay. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Fuck
it's
yeah.
You're
a
Fine.
disgusting one, but yeah.
There you go. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Probably Apocalypse Now.
Dope.
Right on. Who would win in a fist fight, you or Slayer's Tom Araya?
If I'm wasted, I win, because when I'm wasted, I see red. You know, you cannot. I probably fucking challenge Mike Tyson if I'm wasted. But yeah, if I'm wasted, but if I'm sober, he probably kick my ass.
Would you ever write another Nail Bomb album?
Yeah, I would, you know,
Sick.
because it was so much fun, you know, and sometimes those projects are the most fun, and sometimes you got to do shit like that to break out of the norm.
Awesome.
Right on. Okay, this next one, I don't even know why I'm asking this. Who is your favorite child?
My pet snake. No, I'm just kidding. You can't ask that, man.
I just did.
We tried.
Myself.
Perfect.
Do you prefer to play the intimate club shows or the huge festivals, the 700,000 people shows you play?
Oh, the stinky, fucked up club shows, man.
Nice.
Sick.
Because it's the real, it's as real as it gets. And festivals are fun and all, and it's beautiful and grandiose.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a magic in the shitholes that it's incredible. The energy is incredible.
Right on. So where's the best weed been from tour in the past?
I don't smoke weed. I just eat edibles.
Okay.
I like to eat edibles and listen to real fucked up death metal at 2 a.m. You know, crazy drummers like Our Penance and Crisium, like, you know, old Crisium and shit.
That's hilarious.
Trying to figure out how the drummers do all that crazy shit. But I don't know. That question. That's definitely a Zion or Richie kind of question. They will tell you where to buy it, how, the name of it. You know, they know all the people. You know, Zion's favorite thing is it put name of guys in the guest list of the guys from dispensaries. You know,
For sure.
it's like that's my buddy coming to, and I look at him like, he's from a dispensary, isn't he? Yeah. All right, I knew it, man. And now you're gonna ask me to go say hi to him, right? Yep, I get a couple joints out of it.
That's hilarious. Well, you answered my next question. Smokables or edibles? So there you go, edibles.
Okay.
Edibles, man.
Yeah, man. And then we had weed or sex.
I have to go with sex, man. You know, I don't smoke.
There you go. Shout out to Gloria.
There you go.
There you go. That's how
Would
we
you-
make those little bastards.
If you ever tour to Regina, Saskatchewan again, can I challenge you to a grill off?
Challenge what?
Challenge you to a cook off on the barbecue.
Oh, Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, you better fucking practice.
Whew, you know it, man.
It's on.
Okay.
I'll do my Brazilian chicken.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Brazilian chicken lemon. That's like I told the guy from Marin Jackson. It's a stupid recipe, man. Nobody's gonna like it. Oh yeah, we gotta film this anyway. So
I saw that shit. I want to.
I'm embarrassed by that. That's an embarrassment moment.
Fair enough.
What will the Cavaleras accomplish during the rest of 2020 coming up?
Staying safe. Trying to stay safe and healthy, and together, as a family, and we're gonna stay creative. That's which is beautiful, man. Which will prepare us for 2021.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
And this is the last question: will you adopt us?
Oh yeah, a lot of our friends are adopted,
Perfect.
There you
exactly.
go.
There it is. It sounds like it's already family.
That's on. Yeah. There you go.
Hell yeah, man. Perfect. Well,
guys,
Max,
you guys are awesome, man. Good to talk.
Appreciate it. This is a time where you can just kind of, how do we support you? This is where we give you the opportunity to, shout out anything you're working on, where we can give you our hard-earned money, where we go to which websites you got, and all that good stuff.
Well, you guys can call me on my non-existent cell phone.
Right.
The number don't exist. No, I mean, it's always the same stuff, like Gloria's Instagram, Soulfly Tribe Instagram, Nuclear Blast, Cameo. If the people out there that want to do the Cameo shit, let's do it, man. That's been a lot of fun. I'm actually enjoying doing that. It's pretty fun, and we get to connect with a lot of fans. Yeah, places like that, man. And look forward in the future for maybe some YouTube switch appearances of Max Cavalera.
Awesome.
Nice.
Fan-fucking-tastic. This is beautiful. We couldn't thank you anymore. I appreciate you coming on. Joey, I know this is big for you, big for me.
Huge for me. So I thank you, and thanks to Gloria for setting this up. Totally, wholly unexpected when we started talking to Richie somehow, and then she just said the one day, well, maybe you can interview Max next. I was like, what the fuck?
Why not?
Right on, man.
Okay, then.
All right, you guys stay safe out there, all right?
We will, man. Thank you very much.
You too, man.
All right, brother. Peace, man.
Peace out.
All right. We did it.
We did it.
It's beautiful.
Max Cavalera.
It's still on the line, but hey, if you're hearing anything, Max, brother, we love you. Thanks again. Right on. What more could we ask for? Nothing.
Not a thing. That was
Hell
crazy.
yeah. Putting us on the map. There we go.
Yep.
Limbo podcast. We get the superstars now.
That was awesome.
Perfect. It was awesome. Doesn't get better than that, but maybe it will.
Who knows?
Keep cool, my babies. Come on.